It's been a long day, and like most of you, I prefer to end my night with a few rounds of Beat Saber, but since that might seem antisocial at the present time, we bring you real lightsaber battles from Lightspeed Saber League. Tonight, the highly anticipated matchup between Trish and Angie, and Jeremiah and Corbin. And here to provide expert play-by-play commentary is Nick Grange and David Walker.
Thanks a lot for that introduction, Jason. So as Jason said here, while we will not be providing you with any kind of musical interlude, we will be providing you with the sonorous tones of flesh being smacked by a saber, the rhythmic sounds of mask being shattered across the blade.
Yes, we like to come across and aim for a more realistic approach to how lightsabers would actually fight and aim for a realistic battle style.
And also it doubles up as a bit of an aerobic exercise. You're going to get a lot of exercise, work around a lot, work up quite a sweat and use a lot of muscles that just don't know what you're doing.
You also tenderize the parts of your muscles that get struck.
So we have our cadets fighting each other. They have been kind of working up a little bit of a grudge match between each other at training. They're aiming to see who's going to take the lead, who's going to come up ahead and kind of aim for that maximum battle that we want to see.
Right, and the women's division.
So today we have an interesting matchup between Trish versus Angie. So Trish is one of the older members of the academy, as it were, and she's been around basically since the beginning. So she's got a lot of tricks, being the wily veteran here, and Angie is actually relatively new here, but they both have a fairly defensive style, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to pick up the most tricks, who's going to discover the other one's weaknesses a bit faster, and who's going to be able to pierce through the other one's defense.
And what are we playing here? What is the score system?
Right now we're doing it as a little bit more of a time-based for this tournament, so we're aiming to see who has the stamina to compete in it as well as get the points.
Well, there's a lot more strategy than you may think. Just like in rock, paper, scissors, it's not so much your skills in your throws or your moves, but it's also the mind game and how you move and when you don't move. Just like predators and prey.
All right, here we have the start of our women's match here. We have Trish on the left side of the screen
and
here.
Angie's over on the right. We have, it looks like Trish is in a blue saber and Angie is in a little bit more of a green color.
All right, here we go. Let's see how this fight's going to go out here. So both fighters coming out there. Trish being a little bit more aggressive, driving Angie back into the corner here. Trish kind of probing those defenses a little bit more than Angie, who's taking a little bit more of a defensive thing. And ooh, Trish comes in with the first point.
It actually looks like Angie went ahead and got that nice slide off the blade into the hand.
Oh no, yeah, looks like you might be right there. Looks like Angie might have snuck it in. Yeah, looks like Angie takes first blood here. The wily veteran is falling prey to the newcomer.
It does look like Trish did get the secondary hit in. So we went over first hits, but we didn't go over secondary. So secondary hits reduce the amount of points that the fighter scored. But here it looks like Trish came in and then got the knee of Angie while she was trying to block her head.
Yep, so there's a variety of ways you can score points here. The first one is that you always want to get first contact. That is just the easiest and most consistent way of getting points, is scoring first contact.
I'm going to award a bonus for defensive action. Trish blocked the attack, parry for cost, 3 points awarded this way, bringing the score 5-1. Fighters ready? Fight.
Trish got that nice contact across the side of the body.
All right, and then the next way of getting points here is with a clean. So a clean will be when you get away without getting hit. So this is important here because it means that you're not injured, you're not wounded or anything, and you've gotten away from this encounter clean. So you've injured your opponent and you've escaped clean. The third and final way of getting points here are going to be with bonus points. We'll address those as they come up.
So we just missed the hit from Trish onto the hand of Angie as she was trying to block. It looks like Trish saw that come across and just went straight to the hand.
Nice. Good standard move here. We're seeing a good amount of shielding coming from Trish here as Angie continues to kind of attack out there and manages to come in and sneak one in right along that hand there. It's the problem of throwing the same defense over and over again. Your opponent can learn where you're going to hold your hand. It can just adjust their shot to sneak it in. All right.
Now the fighters coming in after each other again. Coming across. Angie's kind of probing the defense this time.
Oh,
looks like
left it hanging.
She just left it hanging out a little bit much after trying to bait out a defense, and it looks like Trish just took advantage and hit her right in the hand.
Yep. Angie tried to feint out Trish there, and Trish called the bluff and just took the hand, took the point. Ooh, nice slip by Angie there. Yeah.
Unfortunately, she did not get the hit on the head at the same rate.
Still a beautiful slip right there. As you can see, the slip was right there when she pulled her leg back and managed to slip away from the strike that was coming in. Trish once more coming out there, taking that center ground immediately, posting up in the center there and just driving Angie into the corner, removing her avenues of attack.
Trish just keeps on trying to get the hits with, or get the blocks off while Angie's throwing the attacks.
Oof. Nice. Looks like, all right.
So it looks like there, Angie got the head. And so going over the bonus points, the head is one of the bonus point targets. The reason why is if you are hitting the head, there is no coming back from that one. You are definitely dead for sure. So that is a given bonus point because you have to go in a little bit deeper in order to get the hit. Looks like Trish just got the headshot right there.
Looks like Trish now starting to rack up those bonus points. Which are an easy way to get to an early lead, actually, in most of these fights. The bonus points where can sometimes double the amount of points that you would get for a first contact or without a clean. So they're definitely worth going to despite their risk.
So it looks like Trish came in clean there. Yep, right as Angie's blade was out of position. So right now it seems like the endurance factor is starting to come into play, where it seems like the fighters are starting to be a little bit tired and are kind of slowing down a little bit and not expecting the same hits.
Yep, there you go. Trish just sneaks it in there, pulls off that wily veteran move right there. Just like, sometimes you can just walk up and swing at the hand and the other person just won't expect it.
So fighters approaching each other again. Angie seems like she burned out some of her energy, kind of a little bit slower on the blocks.
Looks like Angie trying to be a little bit more wary now. She's kind of spreading herself out a little bit more, trying to keep Trish at bay a little bit more after the last like poke to the hand there. She's kind of spreading herself out a bit wide.
Looks like
a deep lunge there.
Nice seems lunge. Like that lunge paid off.
Yeah. Oh, looks like they snuck into each other right there.
Angie seemed like she got the hit on the hand and then just got out of there before Trish's blade was able to make any bit of contact.
Good show of honor on Trish's part there, conceding the point. Nice. Nice exchange there. So the second way that you can get a defensive point there is through a defensive bonus here. So as you can see right here, as Angie lunges in, Trish manages to knock the blade off to the side and then come in and take the point there. So that will reward her a bonus point for that defensive action.
So a defensive action can be taken many ways. It can be either an active defense or a static defense. An active defense is a deflection, whereas if the blade is coming down, then the blade is just knocked out of the way. Or a static defense is where the blade is stationary, the opponent's blade slides off, and then you can then react accordingly.
Beautiful exchange from the two there, Trish showing a huge amount of defensive skill there, blocking everything Angie is showing at her and just eventually finding that little gap in the armor and then just sneaking in there and taking the point there. So this is a good mixture up here between the two fighters. Both these fighters are fairly defensive in nature, so it's interesting to see how they probe each other's defenses here. So you see Angie kind of probing into Trish's range and then ducking back out there to try to keep herself safe during these exchanges. But it looks like Trish's experience is going to slowly giving her the edge here over Angie here. She's just more used to how to change up her style, how to probe into her opponent's defenses, and how to just deal with these type of situations right here, and how to deal with those parries, how to deal with those blocks, and just how to take advantage of those momentary situations that you get when you parry a blade, you move it off to the side.
And then I think just based off looks, it looks like Angie is giving it her complete everything and Trish is kind of going the more marathon approach. So right now it seems like she has more stamina. She just keeps on the fight, keeps up strong, is consistent all the way throughout. Angie seems like she burned a little bit too much at the beginning and now it's just starting to slow down on the defense and is not able to react as quickly.
Yeah, and Angie there also is trying to use her range a little bit there. She looks like she's got a little bit of a range advantage on Trish there, so she's trying to make full use of that by doing those deep lunges there. But right, every time she goes that deep lunge there, she has to pull herself back, and that's just going to burn more and more energy. So as opposed to Trish here is kind of being a little bit more static, a little bit more compact. She's conserving her energy and just really able to take advantage of those fractions of a second. Angie's still coming in.
Angie's coming in strong.
Ooh. Looks like we got a sneak into the leg there on Trish.
Let's take the replay now.
Nice. Yep.
So after that block of the attack, Trish just saw an opportunity where Angie lunged in too deep and was just able to hit the leg.
We've kind of got a feel for each other here. They kind of got a sense there. Angie is still throwing those vertical strikes there, trying to get Trish to raise her guard up there so that then she can come in from the side and kind of pierce through those side defenses and hit Trish in the side. It looks like Trish is just a little bit too quick and a little bit too sure on her defenses there, and Angie's just not quite able to sneak those in.
So it looked like there was something a little bit strange there. Seems like Angie ended up getting the hit, and then Trish ended up missing on that simultaneous blade swing.
Looks like she's tightening up her stance to keep her arm a little bit close to her body there. Looks like all those hand shots that Trish has been sneaking in are starting to register with Angie there, and she's keeping her hand a little bit closer to her body to kind of keep it out of range, but that unfortunately also means that her attacks are going to be slightly out of range, so it's going to be a little bit harder. But Trish, once again, kind of sneaks it in there.
Snuck it in while Angie was trying to raise her blade for an attack.
Yep, so that's, like I said right there, that's why we award bonus points for defensive actions there, because if you mess it up, you're probably going to get hit.
So now we have both fighters again trying to probe.
Ooh, nice counter by Angie there, but Trish seeing it coming and just ducks out of the way.
It's like Angie. Let's see how this one turns out.
Nice.
Oh, Angie was just slightly late to that block. So Trish was able to come in, get the hit, and Angie just came a little bit late and was hit the blade away.
Yeah. And Angie was still stuck out there in that forward lunge position there. You know, if she'd stood up there, her hand would have been pulled out of the way and she would have been able to get there. But looks like that's the end of the match there. The two competitors are
showing great display of sportsmanship, both hugging each other, both appreciating the fight, and continuing onwards.
It's a great fight there. Good showcase of the skills involved in the women's division there. And next up, we have the cadets getting ready to go.
Lightspeed Saber League's Invitational Fight Night is brought to you by Zappos.com. Free shipping, free returns, worry-free shopping, and an unbelievable selection. Zappos.com. The Passing Zone. Dangerous stunts, big laughs at PassingZone.com. Flow Toys. Awesome LED flow and juggling equipment like the Vision Glow Clubs. FlowToys.com.
And next up, we have the cadets getting ready to go. Jeremiah was just pictured on screen there.
And we have Corbin now over on this side.
There's Vickers right there in the background.
That is one of the side refs that we have mentioned. They're there to kind of help Daniel make sure that hits land, that hits actually occur, and to kind of help say what they saw during the fight.
Yeah. After all, 2 eyes are good, but 6 eyes are a little bit better. Alright, so we have Jeremiah with the green saber here and Corbin with the blue. Alright, so these two are from our cadet division here. So that means they are the younger
fighters. They are a little bit quicker. They have that youthful energy that some of the adult fighters lack. So looks like Corbin went around, took a hit to the leg off Jeremiah and was just able to sneak that in very quickly without him expecting it.
Yeah, just snuck it in on the foot there, and a good show of honor by Jeremiah there, conceding those points. Because none of the refs saw it, because it looks like it just bounced off there, but I guess it made contact. Alright, so let's see here. Jeremiah here kind of being a little bit more cautious right off the bat here as Corbin is utilizing his range and kind of sneaking things in there. Ooh, Corbin with a beautiful feint there, drawing Jeremiah out and then just sneaking in and taking the hand.
Fighters coming across, both of them approaching, showing each other some respect in regards to the fight.
Go again. Corbin just using that range, taking out the hand. Jeremiah looks kind of like he's a little bit too bundled up here, a little bit too reserved right now. Might be trying to hold back a little bit too much energy this early on.
Absolutely, but we'll end up seeing how this turns out. It can take a turn. We don't know how it's going to work out in the end.
That's true. This is a marathon, but...
Oh, looks like Jeremiah was trying to go for that deflect direct into a headshot.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, looks like there was someone thought they saw contact here. It does not look like there was any contact made, though.
Sometimes it gets...
Oh, no, looks like one of the side refs had a clean view of that, so...
Looks like Jeremiah was able to land that shot.
That's good.
The fighters both approaching each other with respect, both fearful of each other's weapon.
Corbin again doing some nice deep lunges there. really trying to take advantage of his range there, but
Jeremiah just blocked that and went right into the hand of Corbin.
It came right. Ooh, nice. Even managed to pull it back in as Corbin pulled back. So that was a good counter read by Jeremiah there, because he had to cut in extra deep in order to hit that. So Corbin once more taking a post in the center there, trying to use his range, cut off Jeremiah's retreat though. Jeremiah though keeping just outside of his range and ducking in and out there, causing Corbin to overswing a little bit there to hopefully give him a moment to get in there. It looks like Jeremiah's defense failed right there, and Corbin managed to sneak in the point.
It looks like Jeremiah is trying to wait for Corbin to be out of position and is looking to take advantage of that moment in order to get the attack on. Jeremiah's aiming to get the completely clean hits and is just aiming for the complete opportunity where he can just sneak in, get the hit, and then get out of there without even being touched.
Yeah, it's a good way to get points here, but unfortunately if you're fighting an aggressive opponent like Corbin is being here, it means that you're letting your opponent dictate the timing of every engagement that you have, which is going to put you at a disadvantage because you're just going to be on the reaction the entire time. So I think Jeremiah's going to want to start taking a little bit more of an aggressive stance here. He's going to want to start diving in a little bit faster to force Corbin to react to him and then take advantage of that.
Well, it seems like his weight style is kind of paying off a little bit because he is getting a lot of aggressive points for this because his opponent is out of position and then he just keeps on getting the bonuses.
Yeah, as long as his defensive holds true, this strategy will work there, but I just wonder how long you can keep this up. Right? You know, this is a mental game here too, right? I mean, as this match goes on and on, you're gonna start to just get that fatigue's gonna set in just a little bit there. Ooh, Corbin with a beautiful shot, just cutting Corbin directly into Jeremiah in the chest.
Let's see how this goes.
Nice.
Corbin just came across so quick. Jeremiah was trying to block it, but it didn't even seem like he had time to react.
I mean, he had plenty of time to react once he started doing his dodge. You just see that look of defeat swell across him right there.
Absolutely.
All right, and let's see here. Ooh, Jeremiah with a nice beat attack there. So a beat attack there is going to be when you take the initiative and you attack your opponent's weapon to knock it out of the way, and then you cut in and attack your opponent.
Here we have them approaching. Ooh, Corbin's taking the aggressive. Jeremiah's aiming for the defensive.
Jeremiah still holding strong, holding good defense there. Looks like we had another concession by Jeremiah there.
Yep, it looks like there was a concession for a hit on the shoulder.
Yep, there it is, right there. All right, Corbin again getting to that center point there. Just from that center point, he's able to attack almost the entire ring, leaving Jeremiah nowhere to run.
Jeremiah's trying to get the defense into the attack in order to get those defensive bonus points.
Jeremiah's defense is holding real strong here. Seeing a lot of great parries on Jeremiah's, or deflectors.
Ooh, he went for the block, but it seems like that block was just slightly off and ended up pushing the blade down into his hand.
Yeah. See, it seems to me that Jeremiah's not quite taking advantage of all of his great deflectors that he's pulling off here. He's just not capitalizing on that moment as he moves the blade out. So, again, he's giving Corbin chance after chance after chance to strike at him, and eventually Corbin's going to learn his timing. He's going to learn how to tweak that shot just so that he cannot block it. He cannot change its direction.
Or he will learn in order to take that block and then just redirect it into the hit.
Exactly.
Like here on the replay.
Oh, right there.
Yeah,
Nice.
It looks like he just snuck across.
Yeah, it looks like he overreached just a little bit there because he kind of lunged and then he kind of tipped himself over there, but managed to throw himself back to avoid the return strike there.
Looks like he went for a little bit.
Ooh, nice, there we go. Looked to be about what to go there, right? So he did the block and then cut in immediately. That's what you're going to want to do after you pull off any one of those defensive actions. You're always going to want to be primed and ready to go. They're still circling each other. Corbin still in his center post here. Jeremiah, though, looking a little bit more active right now, looking a little bit more alive. Looks like he's about to kick it into second gear here.
There is a concession on this side. 1 point awarded to Corbin for your score. 13.
Oh, looks like there was a concession by Jeremiah for a hit on the shoulder.
Yeah, it was a beautiful follow-up there by Corbin there, where he threw a heavy strike down and then followed it up with a light horizontal strike. It's a nice combination.
So it looks like here the Marathon is kind of taking precedence, where Jeremiah now has the built-up energy that Corbin doesn't, and so it looks like he's ready to just start taking action on it, start using all that he's built up, and start taking the aggressive stance.
Yeah, Jeremiah definitely coming a little bit more live here. Strikes are coming in a little bit sharper, a little bit faster. His body's becoming a little bit more animated.
It looks like Corbin there, with the aggression, was able to sneak in and attack on the head, use his range that he has up on top of Jeremiah.
It's like Corbin, though, tank's not empty yet. Runs out there and tries to sneak in an early point off of Jeremiah before he has a chance to escape his corner. But Jeremiah was ready for it and dodged out of the way, and he's managed to save himself. Oh, looks like he managed to sneak in again. Yeah.
Looks like it was a little bit of a miss parry, and so was able to just take that hit, not completely knock it out of the way, which ended up hitting it into his hand.
Yeah, it's usually going to come from just not quite striking the weapon high enough on the thing there. And ooh, Jeremiah manages to sneak in one right there.
Sneaking a nice pick when Corbin was not expecting it.
Yeah. Looks like Corbin lowered his guard and then just boom. Jeremiah took advantage of that. Let that be a lesson to you. Never drop your saber in a fight.
Oh, now it looks like Jeremiah's the one that's taking advantage, running out, getting ready for the fight. Yeah. Trying to push Corbin into the corner.
Okay, Jeremiah.
Ooh, both fighters aim to just jump up and end up blocking.
Yeah, looks like Jeremiah's now trying to grab that center ground here, but Corbin is managing to retreat just a little bit, but it's just enough to lure him into a strike right there.
And that is time. So it looks like Corbin takes the match. Again, both cadets coming out strong, nice display of sportsmanship. Both of them loved the fight. Both of them definitely just having fun at the end of it.
Yep. Both of them have a lot to learn, a lot to progress to. It'll be interesting to see where these guys end up.
That's wrapping up our fights for the night. And we will be back for our main finale tomorrow, which is going to be Kang versus Adam. And that's going to be our championship match. It's going to be a complete different fighting style. So we'll bring it to you tomorrow.
It has been an action-packed day here at the Moxie Games with juggling, yo-yo, dodgeball, dodge juggle, combat juggling, and lightsaber fencing. And that will conclude this first day of SkillCon and the Moxie Games. We will be back here tomorrow with the finals, or the closest equivalent in importance, from each of these events, and possibly some rock, paper, scissors if Master Rochambeau ever turns up. On behalf of myself, John Lee, Owen Morse, Adam Candy, Nate Daly, Kieran Cooper, Nick Grange, David Walker, Andrew Ketchum, and Dylan Clark Oden, we thank you for watching. And a very special thanks to Zappos.com, Flowtoys.com, and The Passing Zone for helping us bring in our jugglers. We'll see you all back here tomorrow for the main event, Moxie Games 4, The Quest for Peace. Good night.
Yeah, we're only 4 teams, so like we're in the finals. Yeah.